Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Silent Hill 2. We are getting into, well, my least favourite segment of the game, but don't worry, I've had a bit of Pepsi, I've had a delicious meal, and now I'm recharged and ready to rock. Well, hopefully. I still don't like this area very much, so I might as well begin to elaborate why. As you can see here, we have a bunch of repeating areas, a lot of which looks exactly the same, which, excuse me. According to Masahiro Ito, was inspired by the artistic works of Francis Bacon, but on to more important notes, this hallway right here has some importance. For one thing, as you saw before, or possibly we'll see once again, Pyramid Head is walking around this place. But more prevalently, this is the place where you can get his great knife. And you might be thinking, is this a plot-related item? Because surely we won't be blessed with the power of the great knife. But no, you actually can use that as a weapon. And then that does come with a few very specific caveats. It is a powerful weapon. We also see the brief appearance of the mandarins as well. But yeah, just because you have the great knife doesn't mean you can use it because, well, Pyramid Head is invincible and he has a spear. I don't think he has his great knife in this sector because, well, we just took it away from him. But yeah, equip the great knife, and again, the caveat is that basically you move at, well, pretty much a snail's pace. But, like Pyramid Head, you have two modes of attack. A simple, like, horizontal swipe, which is, you know, pretty much your regular attack, and of course the overhead swing, which has a very lengthy charge-up time, but by the time that thing hits, it's a one-hit kill. No need to do the Silent Hill Stomp, just clock it down and, basically feel like the badass Buster Sword-wielding hero you are. In terms of, how you wield it though, like, I wouldn't really recommend using it much, if at all. I mean, basically, just use it if you happen to feel like being fancy, I guess, or, mainly just waiting towards the hit on the final boss, because, well, it feels the most apropos to do it there. Ugh, excuse me. Ugh, that chicken Kiev's repeating on me. But, yeah, to digress upon my reasons as to why I dislike this area of the game, again, the level design is basically very samey looking, and while the Francis Bacon art design is understandable, it's also hosted this puzzle, which is basically a fiddly fucking rotated around until you get the right door. I forget the combination, so I basically have to fiddle around with it a lot. And on top of that, a lot of the areas look the same, navigation is a little bit pish, and you can't use your map to help you out here, so you're pretty much just wandering back and forth, and again, it's just a fuckabout, really. I mean, the area is linear enough so that you won't be getting lost for hours on end, but again, given the very sluggish pace of it, it's just blech. But this does lead into some very interesting revelations, like Maria, who seems to have been suddenly cured by her mysterious case of death. Let's, get into that.
You're alive! Maria, I thought that thing killed you. Are you hurt bad?
Not at all, silly.
Maria? That thing, it stabbed you. There was blood everywhere.
Stabbed me? What do you mean?
It chased us to the elevator, and then...
James, what are you talking about?
Just before! Don't you remember?
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So, you're Maria?
I am. If you want me to be.
All I want from you is an answer.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real. Don't you want to touch me?
I don't know.
Come and get me. I can't do anything through these bars.
Okay. Stay right there. I'll be there soon.
With how often she changed her voice, I just don't know what to believe. Is she Mary or is she Marie? I just don't know anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much our objective for a majority of the, well, Labyrinth section. And again, you do need to see that cutscene, you don't need to fiddle around with that thing anymore, thank fuck, but we do get something interesting. We get some wire cutters. Because, you know, we couldn't have cut off those little segments earlier with Angela's knife, or even the Great Knife, anything? Queashed. It is also important to note, however, that alongside the Great Knife you can also get Pyramid Head's Spear as well. I'm pretty sure it's in the room adjacent to the place where you got the Great Knife, but... again, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I rarely, if ever, pick it up during my travels, so... yeah, I mean, whenever I'm in the Labyrinth segment, I mainly just want to get through the segment as much as possible, well, as quick as possible, I should say. So really, I just don't dilly-dally and cross it. And again, what I mean in terms of sluggish pacing is, well, look at this. Again, well, I mean, you have the Great Knife here, so obviously you're going to be slow as fuck, but... again, even despite that, you're going to be, you know, running around this murky water environment, so... I don't know, it's just a bit pish. Ooh. And again, that's the trade-off you have with the wind-up of the Great Knife. Like, I mean, if you want to do an overhead swing, you can, but, won't be very effective unless, of course, you, you know, have the timing right. And again, if the line figures don't spoil you. Again, the weapon switching feature does come in quite handy here, because, again, you can switch on the fly and... you know, avoid having to drag the Great Knife around or go into menus to switch it in and out, but, yeah. Come on. There we go. Oh, man, that is satisfying. When you can pull it off just right, it is... mwah, bellissimo. But anyway, it's, just more navigating around and spelunking in the dark, and... really, like, I mean, there's not much of anything interesting going on. Like, I mean, we had the whole thing with Maria, but, like, I mean, at this point, well, the mystery isn't really that compelling. She's alive, but, like, I mean, if you've been keeping track of a lot of the spiritual shit going on, oh, not much of anything interesting. Yeah. Goddamn, I fucking hay fever. I hate it. I hate this place. I hate it. But I mean, really, there's just not much of anything really going on aside from rescue Maria before time runs out. But anyway, the faster we get through this labyrinth, I believe it's also possible to get Pyramid Head down here as well. But, yeah. Just keep on the move and, run away, run away, run away, run away. And just find your way out. Again, you do have a bunch of rooms that do sort of lead to nowhere, but... I don't know, it's tedious, and I dislike it. I wish I had some trivia for you, but I really don't have much of, anything really here. Like, I don't know what this place is meant to represent other than, oh wow, a labyrinth, reflecting the mind, but well... to hedge a little bit of a guess with a certain character we're going to be meeting quite soon, I guess this is meant to represent her, memories, for the lack of a better phrase, but I don't know, we'll get to that when we get to it, and even then, that's just a bit of a stretch for how samey looking everything is as we cross over into somebody else's other world. Oh well. That's our first aid kit to while away our sorrows in Margaritaville. Except we aren't in Margaritaville, cause we're in Silent Hill. Again. I mean, I would try and provide more scintillating commentary, but there really is fuck all to say around here. It's just as dull to play as it is to look at, ladies and dudes, so... And I mean, I used up my one bit of trivia for this anyway, so, who knows what we're thinking? And I mean, I could praise Monica Horgan-Taylor's performance as Maria, but that would delve into spoiler territory, so fuck that. I mean, I can say with certainty that I don't think any other Silent Hill game really had something like this ever again. Well, I mean, that was that one side quest in Silent Hill Downpour with the Telltale Heart, I think it was, when you had to run around a small house, but even then, that was concise and could get it done in, like, I don't know, 2 minutes. This here takes forever. Well, seemingly. Again, like, maybe I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it is, because again, it is, like, pretty much the one corner of moldy bread on this otherwise fine, fantastic sandwich, but I don't know, like, I mean, this area is just the one part of the game that drags, and again, I'd say it's fair to think that pretty much all of our games tend to have that one segment that we don't want to come across, even in some of the best received games, or, you know, games we all love. I don't know, it's the one draggy segment of Silent Hill 2, but you know what? If I can't say anything about the game's pacing, it's sandwiched somewhere in the middle, so again, like, it's far enough away from the beginning not to harm your first impression, but at the same time, it's also just far enough away from the end so that it isn't going to taint your overall experience. And by the way, look at that little newspaper down there, and you will begin to read a little article related to a certain lumberjack who has ties to a very nervous woman. But, we ain't gonna be seeing that.
Daddy! Please don't!
This is the Abstract Daddy, slash the Doberman, slash, oh, I forgot what the Japanese name for it was. But, yeah, this is probably one of the most dangerous enemies in the game, if not the most dangerous, and, spoiler alert, it becomes a regular enemy later in the game, so, yeah. And, well, again, you got very limited room to move. Basically, keep on the move, shoot and run, shoot and run, shoot and run, yippee-yo-ki-yay, because this thing will basically face-fuck James, and, again, if you don't struggle to get out of it, well, you're pretty much gonna choke to death. And again, he does a shitload of damage very, very quickly. So, yeah, heal up and just keep your distance. At least for a little distance you can in this, very sexually explicit room. I mean, again, we have a bunch of pistons going in and out. We have the Abstract Daddy, obviously representing a man hidden behind a bedsheet with somebody underneath. And, well, again, if you heard Angela's words earlier, yeah, she's seeing something very, very similar, but, well, probably a lot more disturbing than what James is fighting right now. And if you think Angela's gonna be, well, thankful for James coming to her rescue, you would be sadly mistaken. So, yeah, I would be jovial at this point, but this is actually very, very disturbing, and I feel like making jokes would be, well, terrible. So, just watch.
Are you okay? Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like he always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Angela.
Don't touch me! You make me sick. You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never...
Yeah, that's... touches on some very, very disturbing shit. And again, the newspaper that you would have seen outside the, again, before the boss fight, yeah, that's pretty much just describing the news report about the police finding Angela's father's body because she murdered him. And, well, yeah, the abstract daddy is Angela's monster, and we'll be seeing him again. Very disturbing in concept, very well designed, but, Jesus Christ, the way Angela reacts to that situation is all too realistic, and God, it's very uncomfortable. And again, another trivia that I should mention actually, although something that you can find out if you read the manual, I believe, is that Angela is actually 19 years old. She doesn't really look it, but again, considering the fact that stress can age a person a lot more than what natural aging can do under other circumstances, yeah, she had to grow up in a very small amount of time, and considering what her father did to her, well, Jesus Christ. And, I mean, further elaborating onto her personality, in the novelization, actually, they expand upon Angela's character a lot more, actually, where they talked about her work as a waitress, how she came to despise the smell of burning meat and the fact that there were a lot of men leering at her. She attempted suicide multiple times, and, again, just ultimately rejected it out of fear of dying. So, yeah, Silent Hill 2 novelization. Fun, fun, fun in the sun. But, yeah, onto slightly less depressing matters, we now have the dead man swinging in a tree. How many dead men are coming for me? And, basically, what you saw before was basically the, well, 5 different bodies, and basically you need to figure out which one is innocent. Pull on the, noose that has the innocent prisoner, and, well, yeah, you get a key, and you progress onwards. If you get the answer wrong, you're pretty much treated to having another enemy when you go back out into the hall, but... yeah, pretty much pay attention to this. I believe the answer, like many things in regards to the riddle difficulty, also does change depending on what difficulty you're playing as. I believe the answer for this one is the arsonist, because, well, the sheriff had nowhere to turn to, so, fuck it, you're the criminal because I want an easy lunch, so fuck you. I believe on, I think it was either hard or easy riddle difficulty, it was the kidnapper who was the innocent victim, because basically they couldn't find a child and, no one was there to blame, so fuck it. Hang somebody, because this is old Silent Hill with the Old Testament, and look at James here as he tries to pull himself into that noose. I wish I could do that. But anyway, though, to talk about a little something else, that's pretty much all you have to do. Go back into the other room with the prisoner. Again, their body is pretty much gone, you'll find the key in the cloth. And of course, bada bing, you do the thing, we can finally get out of this fucking labyrinth, and that's really the only bit of importance that this place actually has. Why do we need to go through that fucking labyrinth to begin with? I don't know, it should have just gone from the prison to here, and honestly, nothing of value would have been lost, other than padded game time. But apart from that, that's really the only negative thing I have to say about this segment of Silent Hill 2. The rest of it is still pretty positive, as, well, I've been throughout the commentary, really. Let's have a health drink to toast our exit from the labyrinth. Treasured memories. And again, like, you don't have to access this thing after the point, because James pretty much just automatically opens it. What a useful bit of game design! Heck, whatever. Don't worry, Maria. We're coming. We're gonna get out of this labyrinth and save the day. But of course we can't go through there because that's story related. No, instead we need to find Maria, who's just inside there.
Maria? Maria? Maria, no! What happened to you? Why?
And, yeah, Maria's dead. In the Silent Hill 2 novelization, actually, there was meant to be an implication that Eddie was the reason why Angela ended up dying here. We never get an explicit explanation in-game, but, again, Maria's death, if you could notice that Pyramid Head was skulking about the place, he had his great spear, put 2 and 2 together, and I think we all know who's responsible for this. And again, it's just contributing further to James's guilt about once again failing to save somebody who resembles somebody he loves. I think this track is called Fermata and Mystic Air, and honest to God, it is fucking beautiful, man. And it continues to play all throughout the rest of the area. Again, I would say it's a nice reward for completing the otherwise bogus Labyrinth segment, but, the Labyrinth sucks, so at least we have some small reprieve, and again, we do actually get access to a pretty decent area before, a certain fated encounter that we'll have to, well, deal with. Again, the lock gate with the door is open, so now let's mosey, dude. And again, where this pretty much leads us is... Actually, do we access the door? No, wait, it's pretty much a connected area. Silly me! Because I am a dumbass. Oh no, wait, there is a door. I am foolish. Oh, wait, we get a health drink. A health drink? First aid kit, Jesus. But yeah, we find ourselves in a graveyard. The felon drank his last bottle of ale, have no idea what that's about. And again, we get a bunch of different graveyards related to specific characters we met or have heard about. With one notable exception, again, you can find Walter Sullivan's grave here. Again, I do wish there was a grave for Alaska Gillespie or Harry Mason, but heck, can't get everything we want. Some names are too scratched up. This is Walter Sullivan's tombstone. Oh, actually, no, it's Miriam Kay. A character who I don't think we actually know anything about in regards to Silent Hill 2. Seriously, I kinda wish we had more details on that, but... Anyway, this is Walter Sullivan's tombstone, and this can only mean that we have 3 other tombstones, and let's just see who they could be. Well, who those tombstones are, we'll have to find out at a later date, because we're pretty much coming to the end of the part, so next time on Silent Hill 2, we're pretty much gonna be... Actually, no, we do find it out in this part. I was lying. Eddie Dombrowski. Angela Orozco. Who could the last one be? James Sunderland. Oh no. Join us next time, dudes and dudettes, because we're gonna be in for a whole heap of trouble.